This is the plaintiff, Danielle. She says she hired the defendant to find her a suitable housekeeper, and the woman never came through with a viable candidate. She signed a 3-month contract for the woman's services. The woman failed miserably finding her a person she liked, and she wants the $650 she gave this woman returned because she did a big, fat nothing. This is the defendant, Leslie. She says she owns a nanny, housekeeping, baby nurse recruiting company. And she found the plaintiff a housekeeper she liked and got along with, and was then paid her finder's fee of $650. She also signed a contract stating she would find another suitable candidate if things were not to work out with the housekeeper she liked. Sure enough, 2 months later, she wanted someone new. She offered to find her someone new, and the plaintiff just turned around and sued her instead. Some people. She's accused of cleaning up.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. The next case on the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to find her a housekeeper and says she never found her one. But the defendant says if the plaintiff didn't like the first one, the defendant would find her another. It's the case of housekeeper.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Danielle, you are suing Leslie's business. You own a housekeeping nanny placement business for $650 that you want returned to you because, according to you, they breached the contract. Okay, tell me what happened.
Well, I was looking for a housekeeper in November. Around November 10th, 11th, I reached out to them.
Okay. How did you hear about their service?
On the internet.
Okay.
And she found some candidates for me.
Okay.
For me to
and you
interview.
hired somebody,
I
correct?
hired somebody,
And
yes.
that somebody that you hired, did you ask her to leave because you weren't happy?
Yes.
So there were problems with the first person?
Yes.
What were the problems?
Well, she was kind of slow. Of course, there was some training process going on. After a month, I would go out and then instruct her to prepare, some garlic and, get pasta ready so I would cook. So I go outside. About an hour later, come back, she'll still be cutting her garlic.
Okay.
So it's, not very efficient, but that wasn't the only issue. So, the plates that, we use at night, it'll be greased, to bring on the table. And the knife.
She would use dirty plates, are you saying?
The plates, for the dinner, it's tainted. It's not washed clean.
Okay.
Okay. And then the knife is greasy.
Okay. All right, I've heard enough. So you decide that's not working out. Now, part of your deal with your service is that if she's not happy, within a 3-month period, you will find her, you will keep working with her for 3 months until, is that what it is?
Well, basically, within the first 3 months of someone hiring a candidate, we try our hardest to find another person.
No, what's your contract say? Do you have a written contract?
Yes, I do.
Let me see it.
This is what I had attached with everything.
Okay, so the relevant part says as follows. If during the 90 days immediately following the original hire, the placement is not suitable, which is what happened, your company will do their best during the remainder of the 90-day period to find a replacement at no additional cost. Your company will not be required to make more than 3 additional referrals during the remainder of that 90-day period. All right. So that's the understanding that you folks have with each other. You call her and you tell her this isn't working out, this is why, and what does she tell you?
Well, she told me that she will try to find a replacement.
Okay. So there's still about a month and a half left,
okay,
more or less? Okay. And what happens?
I called to ask Leslie to look for a different housekeeper.
Right.
And then so she said, okay, she'll get on it. And after a couple of days, I didn't hear her. I texted her, is there any updates? She said she's still looking. Right around like the 18th of January, she found a replacement for me to try. So I went, I gave her a try on that day, but that didn't work out at all.
Why?
It wasn't. She was just there not doing what, a housekeeper's supposed to do. She was standing there not doing things just to that sort. I don't remember exactly because it was just so brief.
So
I call her on the same day.
you
saying,
call Leslie on the same day and tell her
does not work.
This one doesn't work out.
Right.
All right.
I'm
and
going
then
to
what
send
does
her
Leslie
right back.
say?
And she said, okay, she'll continue to try
Okay.
to look for
And then what
replacement.
happens?
Another, couple of days went by. She said she had somebody. I was going to interview her, and on the day before, I guess, she texted me. She said, "This is not going to work. She's going to cancel it."
Okay.
So it went on several times like that, up until.
Were you able to try anybody else out besides the person who lasted one day?
No.
Were you able to interview anybody else besides the person that lasted one day?
Yes.
And what happened with that interview?
I agreed to give her a trial. Then I went home unsettled because she didn't seem to be suitable. She didn't have proof that she has a live-in experience. So I asked her for reference. Mm-hmm. If she has more reference that I can see, or
You
phone
asked
number
who
I can
for
call.
reference?
Ask Leslie for
Okay,
her
so
reference.
can we just have references?
Yes.
Okay.
And she refused.
Who refused?
Leslie refused.
Leslie said you can't have her references?
She can't give me her references. They do their own references. They don't give out, any references, contact information, nothing.
So did you try that person out?
I gave her a trial, but then she canceled it. Leslie
Who
canceled
canceled
on me.
it?
Leslie canceled.
Leslie canceled.
Yeah.
Pretty much what she said so far, you don't disagree with, do you?
I do, with some of
Okay,
it,
go
yes.
ahead. Let's talk.
Well, I can just give you actually my calendar printouts.
Oh, I'd rather not. I saw
Okay,
them and
fine.
they're very complicated. You have
That's fine,
everything in
that's
your
fine.
entire calendar.
No.
And I don't want to look at my calendar,
I know, me
much as
neither.
your
Okay, fine.
calendar. So just talk to me and tell me. I don't need to know such specific dates and times. You
Okay.
found her the first person didn't work out. So we all know that part of your deal, put the paper down a second.
Okay.
Part of your deal is that you have to find her
Absolutely.
2 more people if it's within a 90-day period.
That's
right?
correct.
No more than 2 more people.
That's correct.
All right? You have to do your best. That's how you phrased it.
Right.
And you found her a second person, lasted 1 day. Right away she knew that she didn't like the person. And that's okay. I mean,
Right, absolutely.
to some people that may sound picky, that's her home.
Right.
And it's her money. If she doesn't like the
Absolutely.
person, doesn't want them in her face, that's it. And especially it's a live-in situation, right? So, no.
Right.
All right, so now we have the third person. That's really where I want to start with you, because the third person is still within the 90-day period.
Yeah.
What went wrong with that third person? There's an interview scheduled in your office.
The third person did not want to have the trial.
Okay, so she fired
Right.
her. Like, she didn't like her at the end.
Correct.
She thought she was difficult, or
That's-
what? What did she say was the reason?
She didn't look her in the eyes when she spoke. She felt that she was rude and cold during the interview and felt very uncomfortable.
Not a good fit.
Right.
Fine. So
And that's
she's
fine. And
she's
it's
just as entitled
like
to
you
live in a place where she's going to be happy.
Absolutely.
So that's fine. So then that's
same
on February
day-
2nd. What is the day of your contract with her? Is November 20th. So she has December, January until February 20th. What happened in the last 18 days of the contract?
She met another person by the name of Devine, and she was not interested in entertaining her as for a trial.
Okay.
And she met another person by the name of Jody, and she met another person by the name of Denise, Ivita, and
So how many people in total did she interview?
at least 4, but I set up to have her interview maybe 5 or 6. Once I had to cancel that trial, she said to me, I don't want to use your agency anymore. I want my money back. I don't want to use you anymore. And I said, but you're still within your 3-month, allotted time. Give me a chance. Just give me a chance to do my due diligence, because that's what I, take pride in, as a business owner. She refused. She didn't want us to have any.
Okay, but you did set her up with at least 4 interviews. Do you deny that you had at least 4 interviews?
That's incorrect. Yes,
Okay, how
I
many
deny.
interviews did you, according to you, you had how many?
Well,
you
the
had the
last
first one, and then you had the one who lasted 1 day, and then
Right.
what?
And then the one with the third one.
And the
which-
third one was someone who didn't want to go through with it.
There's someone who wanted to come to my house. I set it up. I informed all my kids. That was the same day. Maybe she had more people on that day, but I didn't go back to interview more.
Okay,
She met them on
what
the
are the
same day.
days that she interviewed them?
She met them on the same day as she met the woman I told you about, that didn't want to do the trial, which was February 2nd.
So on February 2nd, she met 3 people?
Yes.
Is that accurate?
She has more than one person, but they were there for babysitting jobs. They weren't for housekeepers.
Did you interview 3 people? Yes or no?
I wouldn't say, I think there's more than one person. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3. Maybe it's 2.
Okay, and when you say they were there for babysitting jobs,
Yeah.
why would you?
Okay, so, I'm a matchmaker. So I wouldn't set a baby nurse as a housekeeper just because I know she needs a job. So a housekeeper's only...
So by the time you introduce them, it's for whatever it is the person
Absolutely,
wants.
100%.
So if the plaintiff got a reasonable housekeeper at her doorstep and just didn't like her, does she still have to pay the defendant for the service?
I think so, absolutely, because you're hiring someone and that person is trusting you to follow through with your end of the deal.
But did you get what you paid for if you don't get a housekeeper?
If you got a housekeeper...
You did get a housekeeper, you just didn't like the person they gave you.
If you just didn't like it, then that's your own personal preference. But
So you still have to pay.
they still provided you the service.
Fair enough. You're the last word.
Well, I don't know. Maybe, I guess, yeah. You'll have to pay her.
Maybe, I guess, yeah. Is that a yes?
Yeah, yeah, it's a yes.
Going inside the courtroom.
Look, you have an absolute perfect right to have a perfect fit in your house. The thing that, so I don't find you to be unreasonable or demanding. You are entitled to decide what food you want on your plates and whether it can be fried. You are entitled to decide what hours you want. If you're willing to pay for it and someone's willing, it's America, you could go ahead. It's all great. The thing is, what you have brought me is a lawsuit saying to me, Judge, they didn't do their jobs, they breached the contract. And that is where I disagree with you. I don't disagree on anything else. You're entitled to do what you want and have what you want. If you're willing to pay for it, you'll find somebody who is willing to work for it and do exactly what you want. And that's it. But in any event, you have a contract that says specifically what you have to do, and I find that you did it because it is not a contract that guarantees suitability. Right. It is a contract that guarantees candidates. Okay? And there were 2 that actually went to your house and 1 that decided afterwards she didn't wanna, and then apparently several others. So she complied with the contract, and I'm not ordering her to return the money. Verdict for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the plaintiff fails to convince the judge that she should prevail, and you have lost the case. Sorry. Do you think you're a little too particular or too demanding?
No, I don't think so.
Did you ever find anybody?
Yes.
Who could work out for you?
Yes, I found a better firm to work with, and they were able to, find
provide somebody
ideal,
you want.
Yeah.
All right.
person.
Well, that's good. So congratulations. Glad you got somebody working for you that you like. All right.
Thank you.
But they did their job, according to the judge. Okay.
According to the judge.
Thank you. According to the judge. That's what it all is. Exactly.
Okay,
thank you so much. Here comes Leslie now with her team. Obviously, the judge said you did okay. I was intrigued by one thing you did say. You don't allow potential clients to see information or the references on people you send to. Why is that?
We actually do. We give out references.
You said you didn't.
No, she said she did it. We didn't. We do. We give out references. We respect the privacy of everybody. We don't give out last names until the day of hire. I totally respect the judge, and truthfully, I'm very happy that Danielle found a suitable candidate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Harvey, what do you think?
I'll give you a tip. If you do something like this, you can modify the contract and just tell them, look, I will pay you, but only if the housekeeper lasts a minimum of 6 months. See if they'll bite.